Everyone, and welcome to my video for the spring semester 2016 of Library and Information Science 30010. This video is about the midterm assignment. I just have a few things that I want to share with you while you're getting ready for the midterm. Anything you need to know about the midterm is in Blackboard. It's on the left-hand column under My Course. There you're going to find the information about the two assignments, which we're going to get into, the persuasive map and the persuasive letter, the rubrics that you're going to be graded on for the midterm, the templates to use for both the persuasive map and the persuasive letter, and also some sample topics that you can look at. Here are the two assignments. Again, the persuasive map. This is due Thursday, March 31st this semester. And because this coming week is spring break, we have an extra week. So if you are willing to work ahead, turn in the map by Monday, March 28th, and you can get some extra credit added onto your grade at the end of the semester. That'll be 5 points. There is an extra credit survey that you can do, which I'll talk about in the final project video. So you can get a total of 15 points, and that might be enough to bump your grade from an A- to an A or a B+ to an A-. So it's definitely worth thinking about both of those opportunities. The persuasive map is a visual tool that's going to help you essentially map out your persuasive letter. So I would recommend that you do that as soon as possible, just to get an idea of how you're going to write that persuasive letter. When you turn in that persuasive map to me, I give you feedback on it. This is one of the key reasons that I want you to do this early if you can, because if you do it early, then it gives me more than just one day to grade all of these maps, and then you'll have more time to look at my feedback and incorporate it into your paper. So the persuasive letter, which is then the paper, is due on Sunday, April 3rd. And there is a template for that under midterm information, as I mentioned. So you can just follow that template and get all your research into there from what you did for the map. Just a few things that I wanted to mention about it. Choosing a topic. Now, I have not graded the week 4 assignments yet as of this video recording. So you will have an opportunity when I'm grading those to see some more feedback based on the week 4 assignments. I did give you some feedback for the week 3 assignments, so you should already have some idea of what I think about your topic and your research question. The persuasive map, again, will give you an opportunity for more feedback as well. I really need you to have the same topic for the map and the letter. However, if after my feedback you decide to change your mind and you want to choose a different topic, that's okay. As long as the map and the letter have the same topic, topics grow and they change and they evolve over time. So I'm not going to take any credit off for that process and that evolution. One thing I wanted to make sure that you really focus on when you're coming up with your topic is the persuasive aspect of the paper. So make sure that you know that you are convincing a stakeholder of your goal. So when you come up with your research question, it needs to be tied into that stakeholder and then what you're going to persuade them of. At the end of the paper, there's a section in the template where you recommend actions for the stakeholder to take in order to meet your goal. It's really important that you focus on both of those things when you're thinking about your topic and your research question. If you have questions about this, let me know. I would like to help guide you in any way, shape, or form possible. Conducting research. So in last semester, now again, I have not graded the week 4 yet, but last semester during week 4, I had a lot of students tell me that they did not need to use library resources because Google was enough for them. This may be the case. You may find sources via Google that you like, but I want to make sure that you are using KentLink and Discovery at Kent at least checking it. Please make sure that you are just going to cover all the bases before you choose the 3 sources you use in your persuasive letter and map. You don't, for this assignment, need to cite the sources using APA style, so you don't need to use parenthetical citations, although I would be perfectly happy with that if you decide to do it. You do need to have 3 APA citations at the end of the paper, so please make sure you have those 3 APA citations and that you have at least references to those citations in your paper, even if they're not parenthetical citations. What I need to know from this paper is that you have looked at all the research thoroughly and that you have used this research to back up your position in the persuasive letter. So if that is not clear from your paper, then you're going to lose points. So again, you may find 3 sources via Google, but you may be in a better position if you thoroughly check through all of the Kent State resources as well. Just don't rely simply on Google for this assignment. Just a couple notes on grading. As I mentioned before, the content, it's very important to make sure that you've used the proper research and that you've done a good job arguing your points in the persuasive letter. As I mentioned in midterm projects, there is the template that you can download. You don't have to follow it exactly with the wording that's suggested. You can definitely feel free to change the wording. There's one specific section that I don't like where it talks about there are others who do not see this side. If you do choose to use that wording, make sure you let me know who those others are and what their position is so that I can see both sides of the issue, because I think that wording's really unclear. So if you decide to go with the template, make sure that everything in each section is completely clear as it stands with your content. I know I'm kind of skipping around this PowerPoint a little bit. Citations, as I mentioned, parenthetical citations are not required, but I do need to see the 3 APA citations at the end, and I do need to know that you're using that research to back you up. Finally, with mechanics and grammar, I don't require that you, how shall I say this? Throughout the semester, if your grammar is kind of borderline, not so great, but you get your point across, you get a meets expectations. The exceeds expectations is reserved for the people who have the perfect grammar all throughout. It's clear, it's easy to read. You don't have a whole lot of run-on sentences. That's the kind of mechanics and grammar you're going to be striving for in this paper as well. So I would highly recommend that you get your paper proofread, or you have somebody read it out loud to somebody, go to the writing center so that you can get that exceeds expectations. If your grammar is lacking, then you're going to end up with a meets or possibly an approaches if it's really hard for me to read. Basically, I see grammar and spelling and writing style as a lens for you to get your point across. If your writing is going around in circles or unclear, then it's harder for me to understand your point, and so that's where you're going to lose some points. I think that's everything I wanted to cover, so if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me at cbaker3@kent.edu. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. I'm not sure. So if I think of it, I will send it to you in a class announcement. Oh, yes, there was one more thing I wanted to mention. There will be a sample paper on the homepage in Blackboard along with this video, which you should have seen if you saw this video. So make sure to take a look at that. That was from one of my students last semester. And again, take a look at the announcements every week. If there's anything else that comes up, I will be sure to send it out. And thank you for watching the video.